However, Kurosu still doesn't understand why she killed Kawasaki. Rina takes him back to his apartment to reveal the truth. Kawasaki had been torturing the stray cats he cared for. Rina doesn't understand why Kurosu is shocked, since she believes this is also his future, because Miyaichi doesn't know how to connect with people in any other way. The next morning, Miyaki knocks on Kurosu's door, but he ignores her. She enters by jumping from her balcony to his, and when Kurosu explains that murder is wrong and there should be rules, Miyaki questions who gets to decide who should live or die, noting that laws in a country change all the time, so true justice doesn't exist. Kurosu finally admits he just didn't want to face the reality of their situation, which upsets Miyaki, and she leaves the room. Despite everything, he still has feelings for her. Later, Kurosu runs into Haruko, who is looking for her brother because he hasn't been in touch. While he tries to come up with an excuse, Miyaichi suddenly appears, feeling jealous and wanting to know who Kurosu is talking to. When Haruko reveals she is Kawasaki's sister, Miyaki invites her to wait in her apartment, but Kurosu panics and sends her away, promising to let her know if he hears from Kawasaki. Later, while having dinner with Miyaki, Kurosu can't shake his worry about Haruko finding out the truth. Miyaki reassures him, saying it's okay since Kawasaki has vanished and due to her personal rules, she won't harm Haruko. A few days later, Haruko messages Kurosu, asking if they can meet to discuss her brother. Unsure whether to agree, Kurosu suddenly finds himself pulled into a black van where Reina is waiting. She warns him to become a suitable partner for Miyaichi or face serious consequences, stating that while he might be useless, he could make a great corpse. A few hours later, Kurosu meets Haruko for tea, and she desperately needs to know what happened to her brother, so she asks him to accompany her to see their landlord as she's afraid to go alone. Although Kurosu is hesitant, he knows he can't raise suspicion, so they go together to request access to Kawasaki's apartment. Luckily, Kurosu has nothing to worry about. Rina's team has already cleaned everything up, leaving the apartment looking normal, even including a fake airplane ticket to make it seem like he's away. Now that Haruko is less worried about her brother, she thanks Kurosu and suggests they go for a walk. When he offers her help anytime, she refuses, saying it would upset Miyaki. Kurosu admits he doesn't know Miyaki well and that she can be a bit twisted. He feels overwhelmed by the situation. On his way home, he spots a guy with the same B tattoo as one of the previous victims putting an arm around Miyaki, who doesn't push him away. At dinner, Kurosu confronts Miyaichi about being with that guy, but she counters by accusing him of being with Haruko. Kurosu insists he only spent time with Haruko to protect Miyaichi. He tries to hug her, but she threatens him again when he gets too close. Later that night, Haruko visits the bar used by the B gang and tells them she's turning down their offer to be their killer. The gang isn't pleased with her decision, and their leader threatens to kill Kurosu if she doesn't change her mind. The next day, Miyaki walks Kurosu home, worried about his safety. When they reach their building, they find Haruko waiting for them and invite her in for tea. Haruko reveals she received a postcard from Kawasaki in Thailand, which is another trick from Reina. Suddenly, she collapses and Miyaki appears in a transparent raincoat. Miyaki admits to drugging Haruko's tea to make her sleep, intending to kill her, but Kurosu intervenes, saying things have gone too far. Miyaki insists she makes her own rules and threatens to kill him instead, but Kurosu stands firm, insisting she wouldn't do that. A few hours later, Haruko wakes up and confesses her feelings for Kurosu. She wonders if she's not good enough for him, but their moment is interrupted when Reina and her team arrive, thinking they would find a dead Haruko. She leaves in a hurry. This is the first time Miyaichi hasn't killed someone Reina wanted, leading Reina to tell Kurosu not to confuse Miyaki, as she'll never connect with him. A few days later, Miyaichi meets Reina and apologizes for wasting her time with Haruko, sharing a papiko treat with her. Reina informs Miyaki that the decision of who lives or dies rests with her, but if she starts to hesitate, it'll create complications. Meanwhile, Kurosu meets Haruko again at a cafe. She tells him her feelings are genuine, but he can't accept this, explaining he only wanted to help her with her brother. Haruko expresses confusion, recalling how Kurosu said Miyaki wasn't right for him. She believes Miyaichi is holding him back and tells Kurosu she'll wait for him at the cafe the next day, hoping he'll consider giving her a chance. On his way home, Kurosu encounters the B gang in a black van. They kidnap him and take him to their bar, demanding that he persuade Miyaichi to kill for them. Kurosu refuses, and they threaten to go to the police, even cutting his cheek before releasing him. When he gets home, Miyaichi notices his injury and wants to confront the gang, but Kurosu stops her, stating he would rather die at their hands than see her kill again. Miyaki reminds him that she is a murderer and can't change, but Kurosu points out that she didn't kill Haruko, suggesting she has the ability to change if she chooses. He expresses how much he likes her, but Miyaichi believes he can't accept her for who she is. Feeling hopeless about their future together, she leaves in tears, asking him to cover the people. Later that night, while working at the convenience store, Kurosu runs into Rina, who is buying a papiko. She mentions that Miyaki has asked for a big cleanup soon, but Kurosu still cannot accept the idea of killing. Rina insists they share a strong connection that no one can break. Later that night, Kurosu hears noises coming from Miyaichi's apartment and decides to check through the people. He sees her committing another murder, but this time, instead of being happy afterwards, she's crying, making him think that she didn't kill someone she wanted, but rather a target requested by the B gang. At that moment, he realizes something important. As he rushes out of the apartment, he calls Haruko Kuroshu and tells her he can't make it. Miyaichi may not change and may not need him, but he understands that he needs her. Kuroshu arrives at the B-gang's bar and pleads with them to make Miyaichi stop killing, but they ignore him. In frustration, he tries to attack them with a cutter, but he quickly finds out he's no match for a whole gang. They dodge his attacks and throw him to the floor, ready to beat him up. The leader approaches and grabs his hand with the cutter, threatening to cut his neck like Miyaichi does. Suddenly the power goes out and a canister of sleeping gas is released, knocking out all the gangsters. Kuroshu sees Miyaki enter wearing her clear raincoat and that. She's shocked to see him there and becomes even angrier when she sees his injuries. She takes his cutter and along with her own, begins to take down the gangsters. They try to fight back, but she skillfully defeats them one by one. The leader is the last one left and manages to make her drop the cutters. However, she doesn't give up. With a quick move, she kills him with his own katana, adding another cut with her cutter afterward. After the fight, she helps a weak Kuroshu onto the couch and explains that she'd killed another B-gang member just hours earlier. The only reason she didn't smile after this kill is that it wasn't as enjoyable as usual, but she makes it clear that she won't stop killing. Kuroshu tells her he likes everything about her, and after Miyaki says she likes him too, they share a moment together. Then, unexpectedly, Miyaki stabs him in the stomach. She smiles because she has always wanted to kill someone she cared about, and now she realizes it feels different, which makes Kuroshu sit as he collapses to the floor. He hears her say that she loves him, and he manages to say it back before losing consciousness. Days later, Reina sees Miyaichi with a suitcase, and Kuroshu is following her on crutches. She asks if her team should clean his room, and they agree. Reina leaves to take care of it, reminding Kuroshu that just because they are going to live together doesn't mean he should stop keeping an eye on Miyaichi. As they walk away, Miyaichi tells him she won't kill anymore, but one day she will kill him, which Kuroshu accepts happily because he feels like his life is hers. Then Miyaki realizes they never learned each other's first names, so they introduce themselves properly while shaking hands.